This week I got my first taste of van life in Queensland's Outback, with its rich ochre soils, arid landscape, and powerful beating sun.
Holy moly, we just got to Undara Discovery Park. Very hot, very hot. But it's a cute little spot, a lot of old trains that you can stay in. We're currently the only people in the unpowered sites.
Yep.
So we've got the whole place to ourselves.
I could not believe how far it was to drive out here. 3 hours at 100 kilometers an hour, like constantly, is a long way. Like, it's a long drive. It is so hot out here. My weather app says it's only 33 degrees, but the sheen on my face tells you that I feel otherwise. The sun is just so intense. Don't mind the sound of the cooking in the background. Rowan's fixing up some lunch before we actually head out to some volcanic lava tubes. Undara is home to one of the Earth's longest flowing lava systems from a single volcano. Really very excited to go out to what I can only imagine is some quite spectacular cave system that we're going to be exploring this afternoon. The only thing that I am hoping for is that it is a little bit cooler inside the caves. It is a little bit daunting to think that we're not even that far inland yet, and I feel this hot. When you look at the map of just Queensland, let alone Australia, and consider where Undara is, like, it's just a blip outside of Cairns. And we have plans to go a lot further inland very soon. So I really need to acclimatise. Just gonna have a spot of lunch and I'll see you at the tubes. Thank you. To explore the Undara Lava Tubes, you must book a guided tour. While a guided tour is not usually my jam, it was nonetheless valuable as a way to learn more about the volcano. And so, I thought I might share a few takeaways from our own lovely tour guide. Firstly, it's estimated that Undara contained 23 cubic kilometres worth of lava. That's enough to fill Sydney Harbour 3 times over. The tube systems themselves were created from multiple eruptions. The first eruption was around 190,000 years ago. The surface of the lava flow cooled and solidified, while molten lava underneath eventually drained out, leaving behind these hollow tunnels that we get to explore today. The microclimate created by these tubes support unique ecosystems in an otherwise savannah landscape. The tubes are home to microbats and, amazingly, rare rainforest plants. I mean, I wanted to hang out here the whole time we were in Undara because it was at least 5 or 6 degrees cooler than back at the campsite. The lava from Undara flowed over 160 kilometres to the north and 90 kilometres to the northwest, making it one of the longest lava flows from a single volcano on Earth. The areas where there had been a collapse in the tube system, therefore exposing them to sunlight and rain, were quite a spectacular sight to see. There was exceptionally lush greenery and some of the largest strangler figs I think I've ever seen.
Very cool. It's very interesting. So how did you enjoy the lava tubes?
Oh, so sensational.
That was fantastic.
Learned so much.
So cool.
It's cool to see that you can spot them on the back of Google Maps.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to get a satellite picture in this video here because you can see the path of the lava flow based on the greenery in an aerial photograph. So you can track it because in those areas is tropical vegetation as opposed to the savannah desert that surrounds it. Very interesting.
Yeah, there's 62 volcanoes around here.
62 volcanoes in the Undara National Park. I did not know that coming in, so
Amazing.
Awesome. I think we should do the crater ring tomorrow morning.
It's gonna be warm, we'll get up very early.
It's gonna be warm, so we're headed down for a nice cold drink at the bar because it's happy hour and we really need it today. That was very cool in the caves. Like, I almost regretted wearing a singlet, but really hot this afternoon.
She loves talking about how hot it is.
It's really hot.
It's going to get so much hotter than this. This is like a cool day for North Queensland.
No, we're just gonna chill out though and maybe have a swim. Who knows? Wow, look at the size of this goanna. He is a bloody huge one.
Huge.
That is so impressive. I am not getting too close to him. So we've made it to the top of the crater, Kalkarni Crater. We're now walking around the rim, and so you can see that it just falls off to that side. And, well, can't really see it from here. Also falls off to that side. Here we go. I think this will be a better view of it. And that's down into the center of the crater, the center of the volcano. Fantastic. You can see the other edge of the crater over along there. Oh, that's Undara, right? Potentially. That's probably not Undara, but there are 62 different volcanoes in this national park, so forgive me for being mistaken. I didn't necessarily expect it to feel like a lot, but it genuinely does feel like I'm walking on a volcanic landscape. I mean, there's volcanic stone everywhere, and it's super rough and dry, but beautiful. They're called pretty face wallabies, and they are pretty. So vast. I can only assume that all of those are more volcanoes out there. Have we spotted Undara yet? No. So Rowan's just pointed out to me that he thinks that this little section, I don't know if you can see it on camera there, that's got slightly thicker vegetation and it's a little bit darker green, is probably where a lava tube runs through the landscape. So Undara volcano herself actually is rather discreet in the landscape. The crater is just this bump here on the horizon. The shape of Undara, because it's, you know, not conical and just a gentle blip in the landscape, meant that the eruption was quite gentle rather than exploding upwards in surges of lava. It oozed out of the volcano vent, kind of a little bit like milk boiling over in a saucepan. This gentle release along a very slight slope of the surrounding landscape meant that the lava could flow slowly enough for the lava tubes to form. The nature of Undara's eruption resulted in an almost imperceptible shape. It blends into the surrounding landscape, and it tells a story of how the lava tubes were able to form. How did you enjoy walking on a volcano?
It was very, very cool. I loved seeing everything that we learnt yesterday. The lava tubes and the shield volcanoes and the cone volcanoes and just a but sheer amount of them around us at the moment. Yeah, honestly, made this bumpy ride in very worth it.
Yeah. We filmed none of the ride in. I'll film a little bit on the way out, but it's a very corrugated dirt road. It was an experience. Anyway, now we are actually attempting to drive from here back to Townsville today, which Google tells us is what, 5.5 hours?
4.5.
4.5 hours. Well, 5.5 hours in the van. So hopefully we see you there tonight. There she is, our trusty steed. So bumpy. We're almost at the turn-off. That was intense. And Rowan was reading his book the whole way. That's why I drive. He's the passenger. Stomach of steel.
Even I feel sick.
Okay, really big moment today. Like, this is huge. First time it's ever happened.
Jesse finally gave up the wheel.
Rowan's finally behind the wheel.
Letting me drive.
I let him drive. Today we've got a long way to go, and so sharing the driving, and the road's really straight, so I don't feel too sick. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't like relinquishing control, but Rowan's doing a good job.
This taste of the Outback that we got in Undara was both beautiful and wild. Next week we spend a little time catching up on some R&R and jobs around the van with Rowan's relatives in Townsville, before we head back out to the west into the deep country centre of Queensland.